everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're already subscribed to me, if you're new, hey, I'm so glad you stopped by to visit me today. Hey, editing Becky here. I just filmed I think 6 videos today and had a huge smudge of mascara on my eyelid. So you know what, I'm not gonna go back and refilm all those videos. I just want to apologize. Let's just address the fact that I did have mascara on my eyelid for I don't know how many of those videos. Hopefully it won't be too distracting for you guys and you'll actually be able to enjoy the video and not just staring at the smudge on my eyelid. Although now that I said that, that's probably all you're gonna look at. Today I have another homeschooling video for you guys, and I usually do something of this sort after the school year is over. As I'm filming this, we have 2 more days of homeschool with my youngest. My oldest has a little bit of a different situation because she is a junior in high school, and so she's got some college classes that she's taking, and I have no control over when those classes are over. So she's got a little bit less than a month left, but my youngest and I have only 2 more days left before the school year is over. And I like to usually sit down at the end of a school year and kind of recap the highs, the lows, things that changed, things that didn't. And so today I thought I would go over just my youngest daughter in particular. I went back and rewatched my 5th grade curriculum choices video to see, because sometimes you forget when you make those videos and then the course of the year happens and you're like, what did we even start out the year with? So I went back and rewatched that video. I wrote down every single curriculum that I said we were gonna use for 5th grade, and I'm telling you guys whether or not we're still using it, and if we are, you know, anything about it. If we're not, why not? So first thing, Bju Press Science. You guys know how much I love Bju Press, and I love their science, but we did end up dropping that and switching to the Evan Moore Skill Sharpeners Science. Basically, we started that in the beginning of the year because if you remember, if you've been around my channel for a while, so in the beginning of the 2020-2021 school year, we were in the middle of a major kitchen remodel that basically threw up all over the house, in the homeschool room, in the living room. There was stuff everywhere. The desks were gone, the books were missing. I couldn't find anything. And so basically I had to really kind of downplay and downsize what we were doing. And I feel like I did not have, I'll be honest, our homeschool did not have my full attention at the beginning of the school year. And that's unfortunate to say that, but it is true. And so something had to give. I did not have time to teach everything that I was trying to teach. In the middle of all that mess, we had water damage. It was a big ordeal. So basically, that is the main reason why I stepped back on science, because in my opinion, especially in the early years, science is not a top priority. If I'm gonna have to give up anything, whether it be completely or just stepping it back and dialing it back a little bit, it's gonna be science, because science at this age, really honestly at any age, but especially in the early years, it's not top priority. Top priority for me is math, reading, and language skills. So we stepped back from the Bju Press Science to the Evan Moore Skill Sharpener Science. What I learned over the course of the year from doing that to switching to the Evan Moore Skill Sharpener Science is it's enough. It's enough, it's thorough enough, it hits all the main points, it's colorful, the lessons are short, she's engaged, and it's very little work for me. All I have to do is, you know, briefly go over the concept with her, maybe pull out a YouTube video here or there about that concept, and then grade her work at the end of the day. It's perfect. So that is what we did. I don't want to say 100%, but what my plan is to finish out the Skill Sharpener Science grade 5 and 6, because I think it only goes up to grade 6. And then after that, then I'll decide, you know, what we want to do next for science. But for now, and for this, and for most of 5th grade, that's what we did, and that worked out really, really well. Also for science is the Indescribable Science Devotional. We haven't finished that yet. We probably should have, but we haven't. But it is an amazing book. Basically, it is a daily devotional, which is a Bible devotional, but it's tied back to science. It's all different science concepts, tying it back to the Bible. And then at the end of each devotional for the day, there's like a science fact. And we've had a really fun time. Like originally I gave her the book and I was like, here's your devotional. You know, this is your devotional for the year. What I decided to start doing almost before the year was over was reading it to her and with her as part of our daily morning work, which was really fun because it made sure that she was reading her, or, you know, getting her devotional every day. But also the tie back to science, you know, it would mention a certain animal or a certain thing, and I would be at the computer and I could just Google, you know, and we had a really fun time looking up those little science facts and different things. So really highly recommend it. There's actually a second book in that series. I can't think of the name of it. I just purchased it because I knew I would want to use that because I've loved Indescribable so much. It's on Amazon. I can't remember what it is, but I will link it for you. So that was not something that got done every single day, but it is something that we have enjoyed and something I'm trying to make sure that we do every day. For history, Bju Press Heritage Studies 4. That is basically their history curriculum, and we are still using it. We actually are just finishing it up this week. So, and this is like a spoiler alert, it was incredible. It was the first time I've ever taught Bju Press's history curriculum, because in 3rd grade, she did their distance learning. So it was an online teacher. I had nothing to do with it other than grading. But this is my first year teaching history, and it was something I was reluctant about because, again, back at the beginning of the school year, she was like, I really want you to teach me history this year. And I was like, oh no, that's gonna take so much time. And I as a stay-at-home mom and a work-at-home mom, I'm always trying to decide where am I gonna find time to do this, or where am I gonna find time to do that? When she asked me that, I was like, oh great. I never really liked history in school. I don't know anything about history, and I wasn't looking forward to it, to be honest. But it was incredible. I loved it so much. I learned so much. And it turned out to be my favorite subject to teach. Other than math, what I would dread the most to teach would be history probably. And it turned out to be the best. So definitely that was a keeper throughout the entire year, and we loved it. Also Bju Press for English. We love their English program. We did step back a little bit again at the beginning of the year because I really felt like I was in over my head with the remodel going on. So we did step back for a little bit and did the Evan Moore Skill Sharpeners Grammar. We did that. We finished one entire book. By the time she finished that little workbook, things had calmed down around here in the house, and I was able to go back and start doing the Bju Press English 4. I love their English curriculum. It is a chapter of grammar and a chapter of writing. They alternate. I love that because you're not just burning out on writing, or grammar. You're alternating. So that is really nice. One thing I did do to add to what we were doing for English already is added the Evan Moore Daily 6 Trait Writing, because there's a difference between technical writing, like how to format a book report or how to format a friendly letter. There's a difference between that and actually being a good writer, being able to having a strong voice, being more interesting. And that's where I feel like the Evan Moore Daily 6 Trait Writing comes in. There's a little bit of that with the Bju Press as well, but I feel like the two of those married together is the perfect combination, because the Evan Moore Daily 6 Trait Writing workbook is super short lessons, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day. So even if you're doing every single lesson of Bju Press English, it's not going to be too much writing to add in the Daily 6 Trait Writing from Evan Moore, because it's just adding and making the Bju Press English that much better. So that is something that we didn't change it, we just added to. So still keeping on with Bju Press English, loved it, still using it, and then adding the Evan Moore Daily 6 Trait Writing was the perfect marriage that I was looking for to really make our language program completely full-bodied in what I wanted. So kind of a change, kind of not. Also, I talked about the word study and phonics workbook from Spectrum. That is something that I do love. I do love it. She has used it for, I think, 3, maybe 4 books now. And she only had one more workbook left because I think it only goes to grade 6, and she was already doing grade 5. I still love that. She hated it. She hated it. So it was one of those things I'm like, why force it? It was just something she did not like. I still think it's a great workbook. I still think it's important. I still think it's valuable. And I do wish she didn't hate it so much. But I went ahead and dropped it. I feel like it was good for her. It was good practice. But at the end of the day, it really wasn't worth making her hate doing it so badly. So we did drop that. Reading skills, we are keeping up with that. It's the Harcourt reading skills. I think it's Harcourt. I don't know. I'm going to link all this stuff, so don't worry if it's the wrong name. But basically it is a reading comprehension workbook. So she reads fiction and nonfiction passages each day, and then it asks different questions, making sure that she is remembering and understanding and comprehending what she read. Super simple. It takes maybe 5 minutes a day for her to do. She does it completely independently. I just grade it at night, and then that is something that we have used for years and will continue to use until they run out of books. I think she's only got one more book until she's done. So love that. For vocabulary, we were using the Evan Moore A Word a Day. We had used that in 4th grade, started out at 5th grade. We actually finished it. We finished a level of it in 5th grade. And then I decided, and I did a whole video about this, basically we decided to switch from Evan Moore's A Word a Day to Evan Moore's Daily Academic Vocabulary. The main reason is because I wanted to make sure that she was actually retaining the words that she was learning, but also giving her more examples on how to use those words in context. That was the only thing I noticed that was missing from when we were doing A Word a Day. They're still great programs. If you want to kind of hear the difference in between the two and why we switched over from A Word a Day to Daily Academic Vocabulary, definitely check out that video. I will link it for you. But we did switch to that. It's not a huge change. It's the same company. It's just a little bit of a different format and requires maybe 5 minutes more of me every day versus A Word a Day, which required me not at all. So that was a good switch so far. We haven't used it for that long. It's maybe been about a month since we switched to Daily Academic Vocabulary, but so far I'm loving it. For spelling, we are still keeping on with Evan Moore's Building Spelling Skills. That did not change. Then I mentioned our geography curriculum, which was a couple different resources. It is the Evan Moore 7 Continents North America Workbook. Loved it. Because it was the study of North America, it was also the perfect time to tie in teaching her the states, so where they're located, and the 2-letter abbreviation for each state. I have found her niche. Like, she has thrived in her writing, but also in geography. She is so good and picked this up so fast. Where the states are located, it was just amazing. So we were using the Evan Moore 7 Continents North American Study. And then when we got to the part about the United States, that's when we took a little pause from that and we did a study just about where the states are located. And that was with a curriculum called Regions of the UPS. No, not Regions of the UPS. Regions of the US. And it was a Teachers Pay Teachers curriculum. It was really, really inexpensive. And I printed all that out. I laminated the maps. And you're learning the states in little chunks. So you're learning the regions like Southwest, Northeast, and you're learning the states in those regions. And then at the end, you put it all together. And by the time you finish it, your child will know all of the states where they're located, and then also the 2-letter abbreviation. So that turned out to be amazing. We also tied that into our handwriting, which was exploring handwriting through the United States. It's okay. I mean, it's kind of boring, but it's cursive copywork practice with states, capitals, and information. So it gets the job done. It's matching geography with handwriting. I have no problems with it. It's just not the most exciting thing in the world, but it works. So that was geography. So those are all of the 5th grade curriculum choices that we started out with, and the ones that we may have dropped or added to or changed in some way, just to kind of let you guys know, because I do feel like, and I myself included, I'm pretty good about sharing what we're using, but I'm not always that great about going back and saying, oh wait, we're not using this anymore and here's why. So, okay, so that is our 5th grade year in a nutshell. What worked, what didn't, what we changed, what we added. So I really hope it was helpful to you guys to give you a glimpse. If you want to see that original 5th grade curriculum choices video, I will have it linked for you in my homeschooling playlist. There are so many videos in that playlist. Like, I think there's over 100, almost 200 videos about curriculum choices and curriculum reviews. Homeschool day in the life videos and homeschool mom life tips and tricks and all that stuff are in that playlist. So I'll link that for you if you're interested. I will also link all the curriculum that I mentioned in today's video. Homeschooling and finding the right homeschooling curriculum for you and your child is a lot of trial and error. What works for us may not work for you. What even worked for us doesn't always stay working for us. Sometimes we have to change things. Sometimes we have to add things to it, and that's okay. That's all part of homeschooling. It's normal, and you should not be freaked out if maybe what you thought was going to be great turns out not to be, or if maybe you thought such and so was going to be enough and it turned out not to be enough. You had to add something else. Maybe you started out the year gung-ho and you realize that you just are, it's too much too soon. You have to step back. All of those things are okay. Homeschooling and being able to turn and pivot is just part of it, and it is, though you do have to know how to turn on a dime, how to change your course whenever it's necessary, because chances are it's going to be necessary at some point. So don't feel bad if you do have to make changes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.